So we may have to restart the OBS here just to be able to come back on. Looks like the Facebook side is still running now. Yeah, we're losing them. We're losing our signal strength. That happened last year at the same time. Middle game 7. So we apologize. Going to be some choppy feeds here for the next game and a half. Hopefully we can keep her going. We'll try to connect to a hotspot and see if that'll make it happen or not. Also on the list of what we want is our own internet for our stuff. Hang tight, folks. We're trying to get the thing back up and running. Yeah, we don't want to change anything too much. Again, we're apologize on the YouTube side. You can jump over on Facebook, or we can try to restart it on YouTube here real quick too. Probably not going to come back up without a separate feed restarting, Scott. It's probably not going to come back up without a separate feed starting back up.
Restart it.
For the last game and a half. We're going to stick with Facebook for here. I think we just leave it alone at Facebook for the rest of the day. Sorry about that, YouTubers. We'll be back for the afternoon shift. But we're going to stay on here for Facebook anyway. Anytime, Dave. We enjoy this. that ranch.
I won't give you my car, but I gave you the ranch. Yes, Kyle, the 50-50 girl came by twice.
We didn't win.
No, we should have stuck with our initial strategy and just bought them all in a row, and we would have been closer.
But maybe still not a 1.
Possibly.
We're going to have to get some cash out to 50-50 girl for the next time.
Oh, I've got more.
Okay.
About halfway through Game 6 here. Scores look like they are falling off a little bit.
Paul Brown's at home watching on the big screen.
Got us on the big screen.
I love it. Kyle said, next time she comes around, tell her she's sexier than a chocolate-covered strawberry.
We will pass the message along.
I'm going to let you say it, though, Scoot.
Great shot by Simon.
Yeah, Simon's having a good day. Good squad. The Elon Musk satellite connection.
I was watching something the other day and talking about space debris and all the debris that's up there in the lower Earth orbit. And
the debris.
Yeah, and how much is going to be up there in, I don't know, X amount of years or something. They were talking about Elon Musk and his Starlink satellites, and I don't know, 43,000 something satellites just that they've put up in space. And just, yeah, I don't know if I'd like to be up there with all that stuff flying around.
No.
Well, Kyle, I might have to borrow that one then. Use it in the future, perhaps.
Corey Chris is over there to the right. He's not lofting quite as much as he was last night.
It's like some people are finding some no man's land out there.
Ball just kind of dying on the back end.
It's like
they get it to the right, it just kind of rolls heavy and then stops.
Right.
Scores should be coming our way soon. I see him handing the score sheets back out, so I'm ready to get the pictures and post them, and we'll get you all updated after Game 6. They'll come flying over our shoulder. We got to be careful.
I've got the radar on so we don't get attacked again. Chris, to the far right of your screen there, getting up on lane 17.
I think Zach was certain. You guys missed that one. Zach Wilkins over here on 13. He was on the winning team last night. But he let that one go, and he was kind of begging. I think he knew that was a 10-pin because the ball just kind of labored down lane a little bit before it made its move.
Yeah, those were my favorite shots. As soon as you let it go, it's like, that is not going to carry.
Do any favors.
Here they come. Heads up.
Incoming. Yeah,
I was ready that time.
Parents are kind of slowing down a little bit, delaying the scores getting out, but they are doing the best that they can back in the tournament office.
No, I think what they're doing with just using paper and running scores on a 50-lane center and getting them to us before the next game is complete.
Oh, they've got it down to a science.
Is pretty fantastic.
They have got it down to a science, that's for sure.
Ooh, I don't like that picture. I'm taking a new one, Scott.
Oh, well, here, I'll smile next time.
That's not of you. Cheese, curd.
Spicy. All right, for all the Adam Barta fans out there.
There's lots of those.
Adam stepping up on lane 14. You know, we talked about ambassadors of the game, and
he's
another one.
Top of the list right
yes,
there.
Yes, he is. Oh, wow. Solid 9. That was a great shot by Adam. Just comes back. All you do is shake your head on that one. I don't think you can throw it much better.
Okay, the scores are now posted in the event page for after Game 6 and also on my personal page. We'll give you a quick rundown while Scott's typing them in. Top 10 right now. Michael Holloman at plus 314. Brandon Kennard is in second with that 298 game at plus 295. Brady Adler's in third place right now, plus 252. Kyle Cook at plus 251 is sitting in fourth. David Northhouse is at plus 245. Andre Gonzalez, 241, plus 241. Simon Moat, sitting right now in seventh place. He's at plus 230. Chris Vi is in eighth place. He's a plus 223. Zach Wilkins, again right here in front of us. He is in ninth place at plus 215. And Matt Sanders, 10th place right now at plus 214. And 25% of the field, or 20% of the field right now, would put the cut number somewhere around plus 134. What's going up an average about 20 pins a game, even though they're starting to look like they're getting really tough.
Yeah, but just to show how tight the top 10 is, Simon went minus 9 that game and dropped from tied for the lead down to 7th. So that is how tight the top 10 is right now.
Well, yeah, I just read down to the 25th spot, 25th to 10th. Oh, look at that. Simon Moat back on and making a little run this game. But from 25th up to 10th is what we're kind of reading off. Is only 70 pins. And then you have to look, behind that, see kind of where everything's at, because a lot of things are going to change in the last two games. So
yeah, Matt Sanders, a name that we haven't shouted out yet, creeping into the top 10. been very consistent all day. He had a nice 276 in Game 6 there. Help him leapfrog.
Leapfrog,
right.
Chris, Jacob Balzer is here. I think he's bowling this squad somewhere as we speak. You can also find these standings of the front page anyway. It'll give you the top 50 or so on this squad on the event page. I have it posted, as well as my personal page. It's public. You'll be able to find it. I've got the stream that's going on right now pinned to the top, and it'll be the very next post. So, not seeing him.
No, doesn't mean he's not on here.
Oh, our YouTube must be back up. Brian Hensley just said, "Let's go, Brady." It just reconnected itself. Oh, Kevin's got take. Look at this. Kevin's busy over here doing something. Look to your right.
Oh! I love it. I love it.
Kevin Williams in the booth once again. There we are right there. You see
I'm back.
yourself.
Oh, I look terrible. How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
You got a game plan for the next squad?
Strike as much as possible.
There you go. It's the perfect answer.
We'll see. The left side looks pretty good.
It does.
But this is a squad, and the re-oil will definitely change it a little bit. So hopefully not too much for me.
Hopefully
We'll
not.
see. We'll see. We'll grab the purple ball, and we'll throw it around 5 and see if it does what it's doing for everyone else out here.
Purple ball's pretty good.
I had live or die by it at this point. I've fully leaned into it.
Is that the secret to bowling?
That's the Lefties' secret, and it's
Okay.
not a secret at all. It's pretty
That's
much
just
well
going to say
known.
that's not a secret to the lefties.
It's just well known.
I'm a lefty. It's not a secret to me at all.
No. Any lefty that bowls anything ever has to have a purple hammer if they can. So.
Just not the ones from certain years.
Yeah. Whenever they did the remake, the new one came out, everyone still wanted to throw the Kentucky ones, and I was the only one throwing the new ones.
Yeah.
And they're like, how? And I'm like, guys, it's good. If you just would give it more than like a game's time,
Yeah,
you
you
would
got to
figure
let
it
it get
out.
a little oil into it, let it settle down a little bit.
And then people started, we had to throw it on tour and stuff, and now everyone realizes, it's just as good. It might roll a little different, but it's just as good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What are the scores looking like today?
Well, we just got the top 6 right there.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the games through game 6.
Lefty.
There's a lot of crooked armors on there.
Christopher. It's a lot of striking. It's a good thing I bowl with Michael Holloman because he strikes a lot.
He does strike a lot. And Matt Sanders is creeping up.
Yeah, he said he had 270 the last game.
Yep.
So what are they cutting to tomorrow?
So it's the top 20% of the overall qualifying.
Top
So you
20%,
got,
so,
yeah.
okay, 1 of 5.
So you've got A squad, B squad, roughly 250 bowlers. So the top 20% of that, 1 out of 5, will make it to tomorrow.
All right. So
roughly
like,
50 bowlers, I would imagine.
Okay. So 200 over would be pretty decent to get in.
That's what it was last year. It was right at 200 over. I don't know that it's going to be that high this year, but it kind of looks like it's getting that way.
Yeah.
I kind of went down to the 25th spot, and after 6, it's a plus 130.
Yeah.
And it's going up about 20 pins a game, so you add 40 there, so 175 probably is being the.
You give yourself a little cushion when you see the numbers. Always. You don't
We'll
want to
see how
the
close
exact
we are
numbers.
guessing. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Nice. I saw someone told me that a lefty wasn't bowling very good at first, and he grabbed the purple, and then he had like 820 and I saw he had the front 11, and he pocket 5-6.
Yeah, it was Anthony Kennard. He did it right over here on lane 18.
Oh, so he's the one that's in
Yeah.
second?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he had 60, 60, 60, 30, 90. That is a lot. Start with 150 and then go 260, 260, 260, 230, 290. I'd take that. I'd take that score.
Yeah. Yeah, we watched him over here, and he throws it really good.
Yeah, he does.
He's come down and pulled some of my stuff down in Cincinnati a few times.
Yep.
And he gets after it, but he's throwing the purple ball.
Yeah, I could have guessed. Zach Wilkins, a little strike there. Zachary. He crushed him yesterday in the team event. He had 8-0 the first three.
Yeah.
And then 190.
Still good.
Still good. He bowled better than me, I'll tell you that. He got more points than I did.
More points.
Yeah. Yeah, I only talk in bowling terms anymore.
Well, I do that when the little sweeper we do on Sunday nights. 85, 90 bowlers a week average, give or take. 95
nice.
bowlers on a Sunday night at 6 o'clock. And whenever I announce the cut, I always say points. And
I love
everybody
that.
just looks at me. It's a lot of younger kids.
I love that.
And everybody just kind of looks at me like I've got 6 heads.
I love that. Yeah, I have, I didn't grow up really bowling, and so all of my close friends aren't bowlers. So
Yeah.
whenever they talk, they say, like, go play bowling. And
No.
whatever. So now I just lean into it, and I just talk in non-bowling terms.
That's one of those things when someone says, we're going to go play bowling, it just kind of gives me the chills.
I know. I laugh, but I don't say anything. I'm like, they don't know any better.
Never played bowling once in my life.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
But you're right. You got to just play along.
Let him have it. 2-0-4 for Zach. He doesn't look too happy. I don't know if he's bowling very good.
No.
Based off his body language.
Simon Moat was up there towards the top, and he just had 268. He was 7th.
That's
A lefty.
He's a lefty as well. He's the lefty that puts his thumb in it. I bowled him in a match last night.
Yeah, he's kind of two-handed, but he has his thumb in it just a little bit.
He does it good.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one thing I love about the bigger amateur events is you come to these things and people that walk in, the typical names, the Chris Vise and the Mikey Tangs and all the tour guys, but there's a lot of guys that you've never heard of that are really good.
Absolutely.
And I love that. You come in and you can point at that guy and you're like, you've ever heard of them? And they're like, no. Like, you think he throws it good? And they're like, oh, he throws it okay. And I'm like, he strikes a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot of those guys around here. I love that.
So I guess you didn't hear my question. You must have logged off. I said, did you bring any CDs with you?
Nope.
You can autograph a CD that I can put down on my wall of fame downstairs at my man cave.
I don't have CDs anymore, but we could make it happen. I'm sure we can find a way to burn one.
Okay. It's everything you do, it's just all.
What was that?
You don't have the CDs. Everything you do is all.
It's all just digital.
Yeah, I was going to say all
out
digital.
in the world
you
of
look
streaming
it up.
now.
Yeah.
That's all it is anymore.
Yeah. My buddy Matty.
All right, last game here.
Yeah, they've been doing pretty good about getting us the scores fairly quickly. I know there's a couple slower pairs. She just ran off with pot candy. A couple slower pairs so that they get it a little later in the set.
Yeah, there's a
so
couple
it makes it a
pairs
little tough,
with
but
4 and a couple pairs of 5. Was the A squad not filled?
I think there was 123, so
Okay,
that
so
would make
couple-
2 pairs
okay.
with 4 bowlers on them.
Coincidentally, both those pairs are like my friend's pairs, so I just thought most people had 4.
Yeah. So yeah, but they have been getting scores to us pretty quick. They do an incredible job back there. I mean,
Yeah, they do.
for my guy, and that's pretty much. There is a question on there. Robert Hamilton wants to know how many 300s you've thrown, Kevin.
Oh, I get that question asked so much, and I don't know the true answer. I always say probably around 100 or so at this point.
So we're here.
That's just a guess. I just don't really pay attention too much. I don't bowl a lot of league, and
Right.
I can tell you how much I earn every year. It's my job, so I know. I just don't keep track of that stuff. And I didn't when I was younger either. You know, when you're younger and you're a youth bowler, you keep track of your 5th, 6th, 7th, 300. I just wanted to go compete and win. That's it. That's all
right.
I cared about, you know. If winning is shooting 130, then I don't care. I'll shoot 130 every time.
Absolutely.
I don't care about the numbers. Not a big honor score guy. But I always tell people around 100. But I've been saying that for a while, so at this point, it could be like 106. I could have had a couple more since
You
then.
won a tour stop earlier this year, right?
I did.
And it was on 48 feet.
Yes.
And what ball?
Let's all take a guess. Everybody at the same time. We're all going to say the answer at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Purple hammer. Thank you. Okay.
Same color this paper's printed is. I was watching at home, and it's like I'm watching the pattern, and I know it's a 48-foot pattern.
Yep.
And then I see you come out in the championship match with a purple, and it's like, what is he doing? And then all of a sudden I just see you keep striking. It's like, never mind. That's why he's there.
So
That's
it's
why
funny.
I'm sitting at home watching.
It's funny, and I will openly admit to it. All week, as the tournament leader is poking me, hey, superstar Michael Holloman. All week after the practice sessions and just, you know, bowling throughout qualifying at the World Series, I complained that the left had no chance on shark the whole week. I was like, the left is going to have no chance. It's terrible. And in practice, I, you know, had all my reactive balls with all the surface in the world on them, and my ball reaction looked awful. And finally, there was like a minute and a half left of practice, and I have no clue how to hit the 1-2. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I grab my purple, I mash it with 240 grit. I throw the first one, it dead hooks because, you know, it's got fresh surface on it, and it goes dead Brooklyn. I'm like, all right, that doesn't count. I get one more shot in, and it hooks again. And I like big 4, and I was like, wait, does my purple actually hook? And I was like, you know what? Screw it. My ball reaction can't be worse. Let's try to throw it the first game. And I shot 240 the first game, and I was like, oh?
Yeah.
Oh?
That's great.
Really? And so I threw it the whole time. Just the fronts hooked so much at that center that we could get it to hook super early and stay on line. So I made a huge run the last 3. I had 8-20-something the last 3 to be the 2 seed. So the purple was doing its thing.
Yeah.
And then even on the telecast, I had a couple of reactive options, and they looked good, but at that point, the purple looked so good as well. I was like, I got to live or die by it.
Yeah.
It got me here. I'm not afraid to change out of it if it looked bad halfway through the game, but it was striking in the shots I got before my match. So, yeah, I won the title with a urethane ball on 48 feet.
Yeah, that's something you'll remember for a long time.
I got to keep the stereotype strong for the lefties now. I'm really just dialing it in for us.
Yeah.
That's fine. It is what it is. It's the game we live in.
And, you know, and I mean, you could probably answer this honestly. Some people don't know. I don't know for sure. But I've bowled on a lot of PBA-type patterns and pro-type patterns, whatever.
Yep.
And the lefties generally do not have an advantage unless it's short. But when you get the longer patterns, the lefties tend to fail at those a little bit because you don't have as much friction. You don't have as much help to get the friction.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
And that's a fact when it comes to PBA type patterns.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've lived it, I felt it, and but then you get shorter patterns, and then you get on this where it's not house. They're bowling on 2.8 to 1, whatever, on a high friction pattern, which obviously makes them play a little softer.
Yep.
And the lefties whack them. So you know, there's give and take there.
Oh yeah.
There's lots of times that the lefties just can't live on tour.
The thing about, for starters,
and that's truth too. I mean,
oh yeah, the left and right side are just 2 different games, and there's no way to ever manage it. It's just the beast of bowling. Is there's going to be times where the left is going to have a pure advantage and the right is going to have the pure advantage, and it just is what it is. And on tour, as a lefty, you have to be there every week because you never know when we're going to get it. And when we do have it, you got to hit it. That's the thing about lefties is there's going to be weeks where our tour reps look at us and say, guys, just try to stay sharp, learn something because you guys have no chance. And then the next week comes around and it's like, you guys better be in the show.
Go get it.
You guys better be in the show because this is where it's at. So
mash it down a little bit. Go after it.
When you bowl on something tougher, there's more righties. You're going to eventually create a wall to the right of you, right? And it might not always be the best wall, but you will have friction to the right of you.
Yeah.
And good bowlers are going to find a way to use that friction in the right manner. Lefties don't get that friction because, even there's a lot of lefties here today, and it's still, like 15 maybe,
Yeah.
Throughout a 50-lane center, you're not going to have that much friction built up. But the fact that the gutter hooks just on its own here because of the topography, that gives us our friction that the righties create later in the day.
Yeah.
So, and lefties aren't going to move a lot. So when we have it, and that's the thing. If up 7 looks good, up 7's going to look good. You might hit a bad pair that a couple lefties are on or whatever the case, but for the majority of the part, for the most of the day, you're going to have what you have. And it goes the other way too. If your ball reaction sucks, it's hard to find it. It's really hard to find it. So, the joke's always the left is walled, the right is walled, and it's going to be both always.
I run a bowling center back in Cincinnati, and I hear it all the time. And from league bowlers and from tournament bowlers alike, it's a left-handed house. And I mean, everywhere you go, you hear the same thing. It's a left-handed house.
Right.
But we did have 3 righties average 235 this year in the center for a league shot.
Yeah.
So, they're not hard. It's a house shot.
I get it. I know when the left is nicer. When you're on the house, there's not as much traffic. Yeah, it is what it is. But people fault lefties for it. It's like, hey, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, I was born that way.
We're just here bowling, But I'll tell you what. One time we bowled nationals, where for whatever reason we had to bowl unopposed, and we had 4 lefties and 1 righty, and we bowled unopposed in nationals. How much fun do you think that right-hander had?
I was going to say, he knows how it feels now.
After that set, he was like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And it is what it is, though.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
That's all it takes for him to feel it and think, oh, well, okay, now I understand.
Yeah. The whole stereotype of, like, lefties don't know how to move. Lefties probably don't know how to move because we usually don't need to move.
Yeah.
But there's also a trick, and the big trick for lefties is learning how to not move. If you see your ball do something that it's not supposed to do, you can't just get out of that zone like a righty can. If a righty's ball reaction sucks, he can move 10 and 5 left and find another ball reaction.
Yeah, make a giant
Lefties
move.
can't do that. So our trick is to not move. And, there's something within that is hard to do at times. But I also understand that it's hard as a progression as a righty to start sliding at 15 game 1 and be at 45 the last game.
Yeah.
But it's just, that's the game they know, and the game that we know is to find a way to stay at 10 the whole time. It is what it is.
Yeah. Brian Hensley's
some
a buddy.
People can't accept that.
Brian Hensley's a buddy back home, and he's like, he's a righty, but he said, yep, Kevin's speaking the truth.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. I've said that all along, and it's nice to hear the same thing out of, when I try to explain it to bowlers.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain sometimes when you're not talking to the average, come in and play bowling from time to time.
Yeah, and get many points.
Yes, and get a lot of points. And they just don't understand.
Yeah.
But
and that's fine. I don't. There's so much to the game of bowling that people just don't understand. Even the people that just walk in a bowling alley for the first time, and people that this is their first time bowling a bigger event like this. There's just so much to learn in the game, and those are things that you just learn the more you do it.
Yep.
The best coach in bowling is bowling, and that sounds dumb, but I mean, you don't get better if you don't go out and experience bowling. People back home and they're like, Kevin, how do I start taking it to the next level, and how do I start making some money like you, and whatever. And I'm like, guys, you know what I did? I went out there and bowled. I went out there and I lost, I won, and I learned and I learned and I learned, because I can't teach you what I see when I go out to tournaments. Yes, I can tell you about certain ways of ball motion or whatever, but you just have to go experience it. And that's the best teacher in bowling, and it forever will be the best teacher. Yep. You can be practice sharp, you can mechanically feel good, but if you go to a tournament once every 3 months, you're not tournament sharp, and your mental adjustments and things like that, you're just not clear-minded on those because you don't see it enough. So you can feel like you're throwing it the best you've ever thrown in your life. But if you come out to a tournament and you have no clue how to see the lane, how quick to adjust, when to adjust, where to adjust, it's not going to matter. And so it's just, you learn steps of bowling, of where to go. You start practicing at home, you bowl league, then you kind of go bowl tournaments, then you understand tournaments. Everyone talks about it.
Yep.
It's like the building blocks of trying to be a bowler for a living, or whatever it is that you're trying to do with bowling. And it's hard. But at the same time, I love when people are like, yes, this is my first event. I bowled awful, but I want to start doing this one. I'm like, let me be the first to tell you, when I first started bowling events, I bowled awful, and I lost my ass. and I would get frustrated. But you know what? I stuck to it because you have this graph, and at the top it says bad bowling, and you have it circled. There's 2 ways to not bowl bad. One route is just stop bowling and quit, or get better and learn so that you never bowl bad again. But both have the same outcome. You won't bowl bad if you stop bowling, or you won't bowl bad if you try to get better and learn.
That's right.
And a lot of people, unfortunately, take the quitting route because they would rather just not go through that process or that struggle or embarrassment, if that's how they look at it, and put the time in. And it sucks to see that. So when people come out here and they talk to me and they're like, yeah, I bowled. I've never really bowled an event like this. I bowled awful. It's kind of embarrassing. I said, hey, it's not embarrassing.
No.
We've all been there. Just learn. Like, you're not the first person that everyone's seen that went minus 200 at an event. Just go learn and get better, because it's not going to be like that every time you bowl.
You know, and that's very similar to you know, I personally don't think bowling is dying. I mean, I go to all these tournaments. I see a lot of stuff.
Him's a frustrated guy.
He is. I've seen a lot of fried-looking faces walking by.
Yeah, you know, what are you going to do? Bowling.
So, but when you get kids coming out of high school or even college, the middle-of-the-road kind of kids, and, you know, they might go to school, whatever, but what we have to do as the older guys in the business or whatever we're doing is try to grab them and keep them in the center and keep them bowling.
Right.
Because most of them are kind of like, oh, you know, I don't really have time. I'm going to school. Well, if they go to school, they have time because they'll find a way to be able to bowl. And most colleges have facilities for them to go bowl or close by or whatever. And you want to try to keep that. You want to try to keep those folks in the game so we do continue to grow what we like to do.
Yes.
Whether it's live streaming a big dollar event or whether it's packing the house on a Saturday night with open play.
Got to find interest for people.
And that's where we kind of miss the boat, is getting those younger kids
to
continue along.
I just had that talk this week with Casey Murphy about why is, you know, bowling a dying sport? Why is it not progressing like it should be where every other sport in the world is? And it's exactly that. How many kids are, you know, in your school district? How many of those kids bowl leagues? Less than 1%?
Probably.
It's crazy.
Yep.
But how many of those kids, and you know, those percentages are never going to be more than 20-30%, but you got to think, if you have 8,000 kids, you know, in your school district or whatever, even if 5% of them bowled or whatever, you got to think 20% of them probably play baseball or basketball or, you know, the other sports like that. If you had that many kids bowling, it'd be amazing.
Yep.
But
then to keep them bowling is where it's at.
Yes.
Have a little coaching there, have something to make it fun.
Yep.
Somebody just to teach them the basics and let it go from there and see what happens.
Yeah.
So.
And you know, I don't think I've ever met anybody who aren't bowlers that go bowl for fun and like genuinely say like, I like to have fun bowling. Like most people, all my non-bowling friends that like, if there's nothing to do, like, let's go bowling. I love to go bowling. Like, everyone loves to bowl. They do. I'm like, yeah, bowling is fun. And, you know, it's a little different from my point of view because it's my job. So sometimes it's not fun, but I understand. But you hear that from people that aren't bowlers, and it's like, yeah, you guys should get into a league. And they're like, I don't know. They think it's like so serious to be in a league. Like some people that meet me and I'm, you know, like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, oh, I'm a professional bowler. They're like, oh, so you're in like a league? I'm like, not quite.
Kinda.
Yeah, not quite. They think that league is that serious. I'm like, no. Anyone can bowl league. Come out there, get drunk, be the worst bowler in there, and just have fun.
Drink with your buddies.
Yeah. Get in a couples league, do whatever. So, you know, I wish I had more answers to why people don't bowl as much as they should. I have some answers, and they might not be true. I think bowling's a little too expensive, but I understand why it is what it is.
I was going to come out with that next.
I mean,
the cost of everything.
Like,
but
it's not even the bowling balls. It's just like, if you take your family to go do something entertaining for an hour, if you go do it bowling, you spend a lot more money than they probably want to spend for an hour's time of doing something, you know, if you got a couple kids or whatever. And if you want to get into bowling and doing that 3-4 times a week, like anything else, if you get a gym membership and your kid wants to go play basketball, okay, a gym membership's going to cost you, what, $50 a month?
Yeah.
So then they can go as much as they want in a month's time for $50.
Yeah.
You would spend that one time going bowling with them, you know,
easily.
So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to keep up. And you know, you look at golf as the other example of that. and golf is expensive too. But the outing of golfing is a lot more relatable for people. They can be outside where it's warmer. They can have some drinks, which you can in bowling instead. It's just a little different. So, but I get it. Businesses got to make money too. You know, if they were giving out 50-cent games or whatever, I don't think any bowling alleys would stay alive and thriving. Or
Well,
maybe they would. Maybe you get more people in there, and then it breaks even.
Well, and you can do that kind of stuff in the summer where you can sell a cheap summer pass.
Yeah.
But
We
there's
do
a
that
lot.
back home.
There's a lot to do outside in the
Exactly.
summer,
Exactly.
and hopefully they come in on the days that are not so nice or raining or nasty out, and they come in and use those passes. But you can't do that in the fall because
We do it year-round.
well. There's just so little time in the fall at our place. We're full every night.
Yep.
And they can come in during the day, but most of the people that are going to use those passes are the kids.
They got
that-
work and
they're working or
school.
they're at school, right?
We do monthly passes, $50 a month, all you can bowl, but there's some stipulations to it where, like, if we have a waiting list, you don't get first dibs. Obviously leagues. If you got to have at least a pair to the right and left of you to be able to use your pass, otherwise we got to give them to the people that are going to pay premium dollar.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that don't utilize the monthly pass is incredible.
Oh yeah, they'll buy it and then it'll
Before
sit
I
there.
was working for Steve Weimer, I would get a monthly pass, and you know what? I would use that monthly pass 5 days, 4 days a week, and it would be paid for in the first half week that I bowled.
Yeah, even if you go in and throw 3 or 4 games
Well,
just to get a little
Well,
workout.
10 games in 2 days, and the pass is paid for. Now I got 28 more days worth of bowling on this pass. Some people utilize it, but not enough.
Yeah.
But that's, the brutal honesty is people are lazy. When it comes to wanting to start competing, all these people that ask me, Kevin, how do I get better and stuff, the first answer is go practice. Well, I don't, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you guys act like I had time. I was practicing at 11 p.m. till close. You can find time. If you want to do something, you can find time. Yes, it might not be ideal. Maybe you have to get up before you go to work an overnight shift, but you can make it work. And people just get a little lazy at times on that. Pink Widow on lane 16. Not doing much commentating on the lanes for the people watching.
Dawn's got the scores.
We're
talking,
We're
but that's
talking.
okay.
That's
It's
pure
hard to fill
entertainment.
space.
Pure entertainment.
Yep. It's hard to fill content with just Scott and I sitting here. So we've been trying to grab people, come in, sit for a
Of
game
course.
or so.
Of course.
Because we know enough people and whatnot. But, until you get to game 6, 7, and 8 on B Squad, when you're starting to mesh those scores together,
Yep,
that's
gotta
when it
fill.
gets exciting.
Yep.
You're watching what's happening a little closer, which we will be doing.
Yes. Hopefully I won't be anywhere close to that number crunching, and you don't have to bring my name up to like, is Kevin going to be the cut number?
Yeah, that's the old bubble number is always a tough one to try to jockey around. But
I have 7 events this year that I have missed a number by less than 15 pins. 7 events.
And that's for how many games to get to it?
Too many.
Yeah, in less than 15 pins.
2 of those 7 events weren't huge events, but still, I missed 4 match plays on tour by less than 15. I missed a major telecast by 2. Yeah, just
but you're
numbers.
still having a decent year.
Yeah.
Well, the win on 48 feet.
You know what I'm saying? Can't forget about it.
So I saw you walking over here with your camera. What you got going on?
Filming for the house this weekend. Packy's not here bowling, so I was like, I'm a vlog.
Yeah.
Vlog for it. And then I wasn't prepared enough, and my camera died, and then I didn't charge it, so I didn't film anything last night.
Uh-oh.
It's all right. We'll
That's
film
okay.
This weekend. It's my camera, so I will just film me bowling, and I get to be the center of attention.
That's
I get
it.
to dictate that. And if no one wants to watch, well, what are you gonna do? So yeah, we'll do some filming for the whole singles event. Got some other housemates here, and a bunch of friends that if I don't bowl good, we'll film them bowling good.
There you go.
People love the YouTube stuff. People love it, and we love to make it. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to make it.
Well, and what we do is a little different than what you guys are doing with the vlog and whatnot. I mean, we're just trying to get the content bowling tournaments where we stream it to YouTube and Facebook,
right?
and tie them together. So it's a little different, but I mean, I enjoy watching all the stuff that you guys are doing for sure. It's fun.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We do have fun. The thing about bowling is I think bowling's 4 or 5 years behind on just like life and marketing and social media and just like how the world is today.
Yeah.
And us doing that kind of brings it back up to date on some of the things, because bowling is a little outdated at times. It's very traditionalist, it's very old school to what bowling used to be, and it needs to kind of get in the mix of what the trends are in today's world. So the vlogging kind of goes with that, and we have a lot of fans that aren't even bowlers. That just, it's something to watch, and it's different, and it's just entertaining, and we love that. We love to hear that, and we love to just keep it going, because we're not being anything different than we would be if we didn't have these cameras.
Right.
We're just filming who we are and what we go through, and when we're being goofy and when we're pissed off and kicking chairs and doing whatever it is we're doing. But we're just doing it in front of a camera now so people can see what we go through.
Yeah.
Good and bad. Game 8. Getting down to it.
Yeah, somebody in the comments earlier, I think it was maybe the middle of game 4, asked me who my favorite was to win the tournament. And it's like, that's not a fair question yet.
That's tough.
We haven't even seen Squad B list to see who's all bowling in
Right.
it. And they're just now starting to hit transition on the right.
Yeah.
So that's a hard question.
It is a hard question.
I did say if I put my money on it, I would have to say a lefty.
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident with that.
So it's looking like a good answer so far.
Yeah.
It's looking like a great answer. It's tough because events like this, everyone wants to automatically pick like the tour champions that might be in the field or whatever. But Cameron Crowe won this event last year, and Cameron is such a good bowler, and he's starting to really hit the scene and make a name for himself. But there's still a lot of people that don't know that name and would never even pick it out of the crowd at all.
I mean, he's only a senior in college, right? Something like that.
So, yeah.
The kid is
and
insane.
Nate Stubler,
good.
like guys like that.
Yeah.
They're starting to come out there and kind of make some noise.
They won the Memorial Day tournament
Exactly.
last week. And that's big money up there.
So you can't always just pick the PBA superstars or the guys that have won this event 3 times, because there's kids like that can easily beat anybody. So yeah, to just pick one out of the crowd is tough. A lefty's a good choice so far. You got the Adam Bartas who just tripped the 2-pin. Like guys like that, there's just too many good bowlers here.
Yeah, well, we've mentioned Adam Barta's name several times, and there's younger guys that are coming up and doing with your vlogging and whatnot that are being ambassadors of the game.
Yeah.
But that guy right there is someone to look up to 100% of the time, as far as being one of the best ambassadors of the game. And there's several more, but Adam Barta, I mean, bar none, and Dave Wadka, another guy walking around in the crowd.
Oh, Wadka's here?
He's here.
Oh.
Just that he's going to get in the booth here at some point in time, but he's floating around.
Yeah, what Adam Barta does is awesome.
Oh, my God, it's insane.
I'll tell you what, if I had 700 300s, I'd live stream my league night every night, too, and give away $1 million and stuff.
700 300s.
It's got to be close. It's probably closer to that than not.
Yeah.
He's got so many of them.
It is pretty insane. I mean, and it doesn't matter what ball you put in his hand. He just drills what we just come out with.
Yep.
Throws strikes with it.
He's good.
We were talking about how he does this contest of Guess Your Score. We do that at our center every now and then, and we'll get 200, 300, 400 comments on it,
right?
Where people are guessing scores, and it's like, oh, that's really good. And then you look at Adams, and he's got thousands and thousands and thousands of guesses. 14 people guessed 806 tonight. It's like, good Lord.
It's insane. But it's it's good to spread in bowling and keep people excited about something.
Yeah, and that's the way to do it. I mean,
even if their motive is to get free stuff, whatever. If that's what it takes to get people interested in something and sharing something and being a part of something,
Well, it's a way to keep them engaged, and that's kind of the thing. I'm not trying to say anything that I'm doing, but we run the little sweeper on Sunday again.
Yep.
And for the last 2 years, I kind of switched how we did the patterns, and I put 2 patterns up to vote in the beginning of the week.
Uh-huh.
There's like 3,500 people, 44,000 people in this sweeper group page, and they vote on the pattern after every each week. So I put it up on Tuesday. They have until Friday to vote.
Yep.
Whatever wins is what they bowl on.
I like that.
And literally, all that is to keep everybody engaged onto what's happening for that week. And
make them feel like they're more a part of it.
Well, they are part of it. I mean, I started. That wasn't good. When I run any of my events, and just like Jody, he's a bowler. Oh, well, I hope you heard that.
He bowls.
Yes, he does. But I was a bowler, and I do everything that I do out there for the bowlers. And I built the rules on how we do it based on what they wanted.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how we do it. And so now adding in the vote of what they do, which we've done for a little while, again, it's just another way to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of cool. Oh, we're getting our picture taken over there. Nope. I think he snuck one in on us. But yeah, we have fun doing that. But that's I just wish I saw more people doing the same thing. Just take somebody's lead and go with it.
Yeah.
And because that's the hardest part, is keeping somebody engaged into what you're doing and why. And it's about growing the sport.
That's all it's about.
Yeah.
That's all it's about. It's about keeping people interested and excited, keeping people on their toes about stuff. Bowling seems like it gets real repetitive, really cookie cutter on like, okay, this is what we do, same thing. You got to switch it up. I run a youth league where I bowl with the kids, and we do a step ladder every night, and I'm the 1 seed, and whoever bowls me in the finals, if they beat me, I give them a bowling ball. It's different.
That's awesome.
I've never seen anyone like that, and the kids love it. And I love it. It's so much fun. Talk a little stuff with them, hope that they beat me. It's a blast. It's a blast because
you don't lay back and let them beat you, do you?
No.
I wouldn't either.
Sometimes, maybe. But no, I always tell them, I'm going to give you guys all I got every time. But, it's handicapped. They get pins and stuff. Last year, it's 12 weeks, and 11 of the 12, we do a step ladder, and then the finals is like, their own baker or match play thing or whatever. So they get 11 chances to beat me for bowling balls. And I think I gave away 5 or 6 balls last year, so they beat me about every other week.
Oh, there we go.
Game 7.
Game 7 scores. Let me get a picture, and I'll hand them right to you. Brandon Kennard took the lead.
Lefty.
That's on 2 of them. Top 2 so far. The first 2 I see. There we go. You want to read the top 10?
I'll read some scores for you. I'm going to turn my camera on for a second, so you get to be in the house.
All right.
We're just going to set this right here. You're going to look pretty, and I'm going to look pretty.
Well, I don't know if your camera's that good, man, to make me look pretty.
Nah, you're making me look good. All right.
So we've been reading off the top 10.
7 games done with A Squad. In first, plus 363 is Brandon Kennard. He's a lefty. I love that. In second, Michael Holloman. He's a lefty. He's at 330. He's tied with Kyle Cook in third place. Then we got Andre Gonzalez. He's at 308.
He's a lefty.
Also a lefty. In fifth is a lefty, Simon. He's at 298. Then it falls off a little bit to sixth. He is also a lefty.
Yes,
Scotty
sir.
Kramer at 258. 253 is Cameron Crow. He is a left-hander. In seventh. In eighth is Matt Sanders. He is a left-hander. I don't know. I think Ryan's a left-hander.
Ryan is a left-hander.
And then I don't know who this Brady person is.
Brady Adler's from Cincinnati. He's a right-hander.
He's a right-hander.
He's probably standing in front of the ball return, taking 3 steps.
Plus
and he's very, very good.
228 is 10th place. And then just outside of that is Chris Vi, Zach Wilkins. Those are right-handers as well. So go down to 25th place. We're looking at, the numbers stayed the same. So it's about 140. So you could say 160 to be safe. As Jordan Horns is calling me right now, even though he didn't high-five me. I shouldn't even be answering this because you didn't high-five me.
Where is? There he is.
Okay. I got you. He's funny. I like Jordan. So, we've got is Kyle Cook? He's right-handed.
He's a righty. Yep, he's a Dayton guy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the top 10 are left-handed. And guess what left-hander is not bowling in the squad that has 8 of the top 10?
That's you.
That's me.
Yeah.
I think I picked the wrong squad. Well, we'll see. Maybe I bowl really well too. But the left is walled. The left is walled. Let's go. You love to see it.
Good stuff.
You love to see it.
Do you want to tell everybody who may not know where to find your footage at when it's out there?
Yes, the House Bowling on YouTube. Everyone knows Brad and Kyle, and they are part of our house members. Well, we had the house channel when we first started doing some coaching and things like that, and then we just started vlogging and doing stuff on our own. And so now, really, Packy is the main man that's on that. And I'm the filler in or whenever I can. So
that's okay.
We've got a lot of big plans coming up that we need to execute. I'm settled down a little bit now, but Packy has a little more free time whenever he's back home, where I'm, running a couple leagues and in the shop a little more, but I'm also been a little lazy. So we've got some content that we're going to create, but the House Bowling on YouTube, people seem to love it, so we love that they love it, and we're going to make it even if they didn't, because we're just having fun with it. It's not too serious. Like I said, we're just filming what we're doing anyways. It wouldn't be any different if we didn't have a camera in front of us. So it's just fun to be able to put some stuff out there and see people enjoy what we're doing. So the House Bowling, YouTube, my music everywhere. Jordan Horns.
Beautiful.
Down here to be mad at me. What was that? Oh, sorry. I don't know who you are.
Hey, we put you in every bracket.
Every bracket? Okay.
I just lost 1,500 on myself. You know, every bracket.
There you go. Jordan Horns.
Jordan Horns.
Back in the horse for the next squad.
Giving me the breakdown on that we're going to make a fortune with this. I hope so.
Yeah, we'll get on there. We'll promote the house channel for you on my stuff and make sure people pay attention to it.
I appreciate it.
I'll send you some. I'll send you some stuff that we got coming up down in Cincinnati. I'd love to see you come down to Cincinnati on Thanksgiving weekend.
I'd love to come down.
We've got a $150 entry fee, $10,000 added tournament. First place is going to be between $8,000 and $9,000.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
So that's Friday, Saturday, and we're probably going to do a doubles on Friday after qualifying.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure there'll be some action matches that night after. We've already talked to Dougie about coming down.
I love the action matches.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite thing in all the world is action matches.
So
even if it's friendly, I love to talk a little stuff, go head-to-head against someone. The competitive banter is fun.
Yeah, I don't know you. I mean, we just kind of met, and I introduced myself to you. And I was watching the night before when you were bowling because we were still at home.
Yep.
And you were doing your action match with, I can't remember who you.
Cam.
Was it Cam? And you were just, it was Cam. And you guys were just going after each other.
Because that's my boy.
Yeah, you guys were going after each other. And I thought, this is good stuff right here. I didn't know Kevin was like to mix it up like this.
It's entertaining. He, I had bowled one action match, and I bowled pretty well. And when they get tricky on house and you need a couple tricks, like later at night like that, I feel like I have a pretty big bag of tricks to strike. And I know that Cam just likes to throw it 1,000, and he just lost a match. Well, 2 hours later after we got done bowling, he was talking this stuff like, Kevin, you can't beat me on this. And I was like, Cam, I'm not putting on my shoes. And he's like, I'll bowl you for free just because. And then obviously we bowled. We didn't have any practice. We bowled on a pair neither one of us bowled on. And I had the front nine. I just had to give him the business. I had to let the youngin know.
You left a 7-pin on in the 10th frame. Right?
Yeah. So we had fun with it. We laugh after and shake. And we're rooming together this week, so he's paying for my Airbnb now because I had to teach him. I had to let him know. So it's fun though. I love it. The action matches I've bowled so far, everyone's super nice. So it's like I kind of wish they'd be a little more rude to me so I could kind of get a little more hype. But after I'm like, God, you're so nice.
I wonder how much action there's going to be tonight after B Squad. I don't think there'll be very much. Because it's going to be 11 o'clock.
Yep.
By the time the B Squad's, is it going to be that late?
Yes, it
I
will.
would say they're going to be pretty close to starting at 4 o'clock.
I hope so.
2:17 right now.
Surely.
So
Surely.
they're going to be pretty close to starting at 4, which means they bowled this in 5 hours. So it'll be done by 9:30 tonight, I would say.
Perfect.
But I don't believe they have open play or anything tonight. That's why we leave our stuff here all night long.
Yeah, I don't know. We plan on going out and having a couple drinks after this and enjoying the town. We were supposed to do that last night, and then I bowled till 3
Got a little
a.m.
sidetracked till 3 in the morning.
And then I bowled till 3 a.m.
It's not too many places to go at that point.
No, home and to
Back
bed.
to the B&B and go to
That's where
sleep.
you need to go.
Yep.
Go home and to bed. So that's what I did after we got
Mom
done
and Dad
bowling.
always said there's nothing good that happens after midnight.
Yeah?
Now it's 3 o'clock, so.
Yeah, I would almost agree with that. I've had a couple fun times after midnight. I'll be the first to say that. Well, I think I'm going to go get some food.
Yep. Do you know where you're starting at?
Nope.
No
No
idea?
clue. I don't know
haven't seen the
anything.
squad list yet. So.
I don't know anything.
All right. Well, we'll be looking for you.
Well,
I appreciate it.
it.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Williams once again sitting in for about a game and a half of action. What a good guy. All right, everybody that's finishing up Game 8 is very far to our left and very far to our right. Everybody in front of us is now completed. I just posted Game 7 scores in the event page, as well as shared it to my personal page. We're going to take down the live stream right now. We will be back right around 4 o'clock. And have a little fun watching at 4 o'clock. See who else we can get in the live stream with us. I appreciate everybody watching. Hit that bell on the YouTube side to remind you that we're going live. And we look forward to seeing everybody after 4 o'clock this evening. Thank you.